Welcome to the Last Co-op Podcast, your source of all things nerd and pop culture related, all in one place. This is episode number 34, and first thing is Nintendo just keeps teasing all of its consumers and everybody in the video game world with more news of things that people are wanting to be the Switch 2 news and hoping that we're going to get some concrete, stuff directly from Nintendo instead of leaks. And again, we have been bamboozled and we have a Nintendo Music app, which I assume goes hand in hand with the alarm clock. It's cool, like, for its purpose, I suppose. Like, it's like one of those things where you might use it 5 times and might show somebody, but then, like, after that, I'm not one of those people that really care about going back and playing old soundtracks, so I'm probably not going to use it. But I mean, I guess for the certain type of consumer that they are targeting, it might be something that's, something that people care about. Music in games is not something that I don't ever recall me ever being like, hey, do you remember the soundtrack for that game? Like, that's just not something that I care about.
I'm the same.
I mean, like, there's moments in games where, like, there's a build up, it's like intense music, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I couldn't go back and tell you and be like, you remember when it went dun, 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 dun? Like, I don't know what the fuck it did. Like, I don't like it's just.
You remember Halo, though.
Halo's a theme song, though.
Halo, like, talk about when you're doing the mission on the car.
Oh no! All I remember from Halo is
yeah, that's what I know.
that's what I know from Halo.
That suspenseful one where you're going on the warthog at the end. That's an awesome, like, theme.
Oh, I'm not saying like it's not that they're bad. It's just that it could have been that song, or it could have been anything, really. Like, I could have been listening to rap riding that warthog off, at the end of the end of the game. So, not for me, obviously, but I mean, there's people that obviously are gonna download it, gonna use it. I mean, technically, I guess it's not costing you money if you already got Switch Online. I mean, like, I say free. I mean, it's not. It's free with your subscription. So, I mean, they're not asking you to pay more money. So, I mean, I guess that's the good part of it. But for me, have no interest. And, it's cool. Travis downloaded it, played half a second of something and said it works. All right, cool. I believe you. Like, that's,
there is a slight delay. It's kind of weird.
It
like, takes a minute for the song to start playing. But
yeah, I mean, that's all right. Neat. Like, I mean,
concept.
Honestly, the only thing that I would ever do is I would play the Super Mario Brothers from NES, and I don't know how in depth they go. Like, I don't know if it's like just strictly like title screen music, intros, outros.
It's everything.
So, like, okay, so like Ocarina of Time, can you go in and play like all of the songs that like
there's 37 tracks for Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Twice, and then after that, I don't care. Like, that's just not something I'm interested in. But
I've actually had access to this for years. It's called YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Like, that's why it's, like, if you really want that, it's out there. I mean, that you maybe one day Apple will stop being so stingy and open us up to the free world of being able to download, whatever your heart's desire and use it as a ringtone. Not that it matters, because my phone's been on vibrate for 8 years. But, if a ringtone or a text message sound or something, like, those were the days whenever those things were cool. But now, I think I have a text message sound. Couldn't tell you because haven't heard it in a very long time, because my phone just stays on vibrate. There's just no reason for it not to be.
Do you remember ringback tones? Were
I was about
it
to
was-
say, my sister still had, well, I say she still has a ringback tone. She doesn't have a ringback tone because it expired. So now when you call her, it's, this user's blah, blah, blah has, whatever the thing is. I don't know. So like, and then they just play orchestra music instead of, whatever the ringback tone was. So
what a time
I
that
got
was.
I got in trouble with my parents for ringback tone years ago.
Oh, God. What did you
I
get?
had Ti the Dope Man as my ringback tone, and my mother called me. She said that she left me a message and said, "What the fuck is this that you have on your phone? Take it off now." I was like, "Okay."
It's a great
I was
song.
like, yeah, fine, I'll take it off. So. All right. Well, moving on from one company to the next. Do you think that Sony is, I don't know what the word is, losing its way, becoming greedy, out of touch with everything that they're doing? They're within the past month, we've gotten the 30th anniversary consoles, the Pro consoles, new console covers for the Slim that only fit the Slim and don't fit the old model PS5. And we got the Chroma collection. And now we have an optional disc drive that is you have to buy separately to put on the new consoles. And they still cost as much as what a regular disc drive cost. And on top of all that, no games. Like there's no games to play on the console. And I feel like up until this point they did a pretty good job of like they were winning the console war, obviously, but like they didn't just like come out of left field with a bunch of crap just like as a money grab. But I feel like now that's where we're at is, to cover up the fact that there's no games. They're like, hey, look at this shiny new color that you can put, on your console, or look at this new controller, or, hey, this console's numbered. You want this one, or just, I don't feel like, I mean, obviously there's going to be tons and tons of people that buy it. But I want a game to play. Like I don't care about all of that shit. Like, yeah, cool. Turn my PlayStation 5 red, or something like, okay, neat, but that's just.
They should have stopped there. Like the first console covers or whatever that they made. What was that? Was that a year after they came out?
Mm-hmm.
You could change the sides of them. They should have stopped there. They found a way to make DLC for the console. It's crazy.
I don't understand. Like when we got the Slim, like I understand Slim means smaller, so like it had to somewhat change. But it's like we couldn't. Like the covers are too big for the console already. Like they stick up, this much, on it. So it's like just make the cover somehow work with the Slim, cut out the little slit in the side of it instead, and make everything universal. And the reason why I say that is the CEO came out and said that they literally planned the PS5 Pro before the PS5 launched. So they said that it's been in production and they've been working on it for 5 years. Well, the PS5's just now coming out to be 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? In this month, right? It wasn't in November.
I think on the 12th.
Yeah. So they've known what they've been doing the entire time. They've had these plans
They've
the
had
entire
PS7
time
set up for the last 2 years, probably.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's like, and I get it. I mean, like they're in the business of making money, but at the same time, it's like, how dumb is it to come out with a console and then come out with a Pro console that you've literally been planning since before your original console came out? And then when it comes out, on top of him saying they planned it for 5 years, he also said that it's not a next gen machine. So
what is it?
Well, it's like DLC, for
there we go.
console. Like, like it's better. Yeah. Like it's not that it's, like just a piece of shit, but like it's not try to sell my old PlayStation and still have to spend another $300 or $400 better. Like, you're not, it's an enthusiast thing. It's like when you get into the PC stuff, it's like, you can do basic normal things. You can get out the door with a budget PC, and then you have time of your life. But like, you can go from a $500 PC to a $5,000 PC, and there's a whole lot of room in between. But you know, it's like, is $5,000 going to get you a much better computer? Absolutely. Do you need it? No. Like, you know, will you be just fine if you have the regular one? Of course you will. You know, like, you just turn a couple things down and, you know, everything's great. But I think the fact that the PS5 Pro is still in stock tells you all you need to know. Like, you know,
I saw one yesterday at Walmart, I think.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, they're out early too. That's the other thing, is like, you know, they're not supposed to be out till the 7th, I believe. Yeah, they're not supposed to be out till the 7th, but apparently they're leaked and they're coming out early. Which, again, they're leaked, they're coming out early, and they're still in the fucking store. Nobody wants them. Like, you know, it's just nobody's buying it. You know, so that's that should be the problem. But what are your thoughts on Sony's recent path of where they're at?
I could tell you, I'm not buying any of it. My PS5 could shit the bed today, and guess what? Xbox time. I don't think I'm going to buy another one.
Nope. We had that
I'm really
conversation.
surprised my son doesn't want them, honestly. Or if he hasn't asked about them.
Well, that's probably because he's. That should tell you enough. You have a son that's how old?
13.
Yeah, 13. He's got enough common sense to be able to look at these things and be like, "That's not."
Or he doesn't have any money, and he just knows.
He's a kid, but he's a kid. Like, regardless of whether he has money or not, like, if he's looking at something and some shiny new toy, you know, and be like, "Hey, I want that," you know, like, even him can see that and say that that's brand new, and be like, "I don't care," you know, like that just means that people aren't interested.
He'd much rather have a game. Same boat. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He was going to get the PlayStation, and I was like, "Why don't you spend the extra $100 and get the Spider-Man edition? It comes with the Spider-Man game that you want, and you'd have the cool Spider-Man one that would be worth more money someday." He was like, "Yeah, but I don't have enough money." I was like, "Well, I'll give you $100, and you can work it off." And he was just like, "Or I use my money to buy my PlayStation."
Or how about this?
And I was like, "Hey, this is your money. Like, I get it. Okay." I was like, "Well, he's making, you know, good decisions. I guess that or lazy ones, either way." But I was like, "That one's so cool looking." But
yeah, I mean,
we didn't need it.
Yeah,
but I mean, at the end of the day, it's 100% great.
And the thing is I don't personally know anybody that's getting a Pro. Normally, I would be the idiot that's out there buying whatever new thing, you know, comes up and using it for 2 months and then telling everybody how it's not worth it. But like, I don't know anybody that's actually getting the PS5 Pro. And even like the 30th anniversary, like, they're cool, and you know, like, I was interested in it, but like, I'm just like, like, it died off awful quick. Like, you know,
yeah.
Would it look cool? Yeah, but you know, will I be just fine without it? Absolutely. Am I just fine without the starry Xbox of the, you know, the new version or the Halo version? Absolutely. So, you know, I'll be okay. I do too. I had one and I sold it. I mean, I bought it with the intent to sell it. Like, I mean, I wasn't going to keep it. But now that, you know, I'm looking back, I'm like, that one's actually cool, you know? And the thing is like, Xbox will never have, well, I mean, I said they won't have a special edition. I mean, they've had like the white one and stuff, but like, they don't have the same capability of switching out faceplates that, you know, PlayStation does.
Like
so
stickers.
Yeah, so like the stickers and stuff like that. There's some pretty cool looking stickers though that are on there. So
I think what it comes down to is, though, there's a consumer, so you have to make the supply, and people, you know, as long as they continue to buy it, they'll continue to shit it out. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
making enough money to continue to do it.
I don't know. I think it will be. I feel like this console generation's over. I mean, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the next one. What everybody does, you know, really. I mean, I know that I feel like Microsoft just did that, like, had that path forever, where they're coming out with new controller colors and they're coming out with different, the discless, Series X, and just a bunch of stuff that just didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. And I think now, hopefully, they're working on games with all these studios that they have left to where we're actually going to have some decent stuff to play upcoming. The Indiana Jones game, I can't remember I think they said it wasn't going to be an exclusive and it was coming to everything. But regardless, that is like probably the best looking game that's coming out in this year, I would say. I think it's like December 7th, I think, is when that comes out.
It was November.
I could be wrong. I thought it was December, but maybe it is November.
Anybody going to play it?
Yep, December 9th.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
It's on Game Pass.
See, that's so. I'm not saying that it's bad, like for them to put new stuff like that on Game Pass. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong in thinking that they would make less money.
I feel like they'd make less money. Like, what do you get I don't even understand the point of it.
I mean, I just feel like, I guess if it's a Microsoft product and it's in-house, they're not losing money putting it on on Game Pass. But I mean, I don't know. They said Call of Duty was the biggest it's been in years too. And, that was Game Pass, so, I mean, I guess people are paying what's Ultimate? $15? Oh, $20 a month? Oh, so $20 a month.
Yeah, $20.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess when people are paying $20 a month, I guess if you have 1,000 people doing that, I mean,
right. If I give you $70,
it evens itself out. So
I give you $70 one time and I get to keep your game forever, or you're on Game Pass for 6 months. They're already up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess when you break it down like that, I mean, I guess they are making more money having things on Game Pass. So I wonder, have they said, is it there? Because there were rumors that it was going to come to PlayStation. Is it?
It's on PlayStation.
No, it is.
Yeah. Early 25.
No. Well, so they got time to. Yeah.
They have time to shut it down.
Yeah.
I just don't see what you like. Even reading it, I'm like, I don't know what the point. Like, how do you make any money off a deal? Like, what do you get with DLC? Do you get like a cooler hat? Like, you get a cooler whip?
I mean, maybe.
Oh, you don't get this revolver. You get this revolver. Like,
maybe
you can't get cooler guns.
Maybe we'll get some story DLC for once in the past. I don't even know how long since a big game like that's given us stuff. So. All right, so we'll make this kind of like a two-part thing. Travis has got a new thing. I got a new thing. Mine's plugged into my TV, so I can't go get it and can't show anything. But you got the Retro Realms Collector's Edition finally after how long? When was it? When was it supposed to come out?
Supposed to come out, I think October 16th or the 18th.
Yes, and they told you it was shipping 3 times.
Yeah, they give you like no warning either. It was like the day of. They're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, great, I gotta wait 2 more weeks."
I will say they did the right thing by giving people the codes. Like, I'm sure that may have caused people to say, "I've already got to play the game. I'm going to cancel it." So, it might have hurt them a little bit, but it was the right thing to do to keep their customers interested rather than being like, hey, we fucked up. You got to wait a month, for whatever. So I know you already had the game beat before you got it, but which is surprising. You actually finished something and you didn't quit halfway.
I'm actually on my third playthrough. I beat the Halloween portion. I beat the Evil Dead portion. Now I'm redoing the Halloween with Laurie Strode. So I'm interested to.
different endings, or is it just
No,
no?
just some of the dialogue, like it's not spoken, it's typed, but that's
Yeah.
different. But game's awesome, dude. Super hard. Once you learn the patterns and stuff, it becomes a little less brutal. But my God, I was struggling. That last level on the Evil Dead game, fuck.
Was it worse than the last part of Broforce?
It's about the same, dude. It's up there. It's fucking difficult.
That's what. Hey, that's 4 players, right?
Yes, I think it's actually 8 players.
Oh my God, that'd be
Broforce?
chaos. Hey, Broforce. That's what you need to download on your Xbox.
It takes
And
2 seconds.
Yeah, it's a little
Bro.
8-bit, little side-scrolling game with all types of.
It's like a.
Technically, they're not.
They're mocking.
They're
action heroes.
mocking, like first, like AAA action heroes. So like they're not technically called what the actual people are, but there's like Chuck Norris and the Terminator and
Blade.
Blade and
Rambo,
Matrix, and there's all kinds of people that are in there. So there's probably some we still haven't even unlocked, and we unlocked probably 30. So, but yeah, that game was chaos with 2 players and hilarious. I can't imagine how it would be with 3 players or 4 players. So yeah,
Shout out to Randy Hollis. He put me onto that game. I can't wait to hear what he thinks of Retro Realms, because he got his copy yesterday too.
I saw that he posted that. But yeah, we'll have to all play that. And I know there's a way to do it. I just don't know how to do it. I'm gonna mess with it and figure out how to record the game and have our chat in at the same time. So I don't know how the easiest way to do it, but I'm going to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah,
I assume putting us all in Discord is probably going to be the way to do it. So that might be what we do, but we'll see. So
I still need to install that.
What?
Discord. I forgot to put it on my Xbox.
We just got to log in. Like it's already there.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's not like an actual app or download or anything like that. Well, I got, thanks to Brad, who was on the show, I think back when we were still just doing audio. I wanted to figure out a way that I could play all the games from my childhood on one little device, plug in a controller, and not have to do different things. And I don't know enough about it. I knew that he did, so now I just bought all the stuff, sent it to him, let him take care of it, because he's much smarter than that than I am, and sent it back to me. I plugged it in, and within 5 minutes I broke it, and I had to call him. But I
really
I somehow took the controller and on like the old school controllers, like the confirm button is the equivalent of what B would be on an Xbox controller. It's not at the bottom of the buttons, is at the right of the buttons. Like normally that's like the same thing with the Switch. Like that is your button to confirm or whatever. Well, on the screen it doesn't add up. So it's like on the screen it will tell you like A is to confirm B is back, but actually on your controller B is to confirm A is back. So I'm like, I'll just go into the configuration and I'll just change the buttons. Well, somehow I managed to put the confirm button as confirm and back. So every time I clicked on something, it would confirm it and it would take me back a screen. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. And so finally, somehow he taught me through it. Somehow I got to the settings, reset everything, and was able to fix it. But after that, I played Pokemon Blue, and I beat Brock in the first gym. And I played Paperboy. I was correct. That game sucks compared to what it was whenever it was before. I was excited to play that game. I don't know why. I played it. Game's awful. And
it's hard too, isn't it?
Oh yeah. The controls are terrible and game's hard. And I was throwing papers through windows. Anywhere but the mailbox is where the paper was going whenever I was doing it. Played Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Do what?
What kind of controller is it?
It's a wired 360 controller.
360?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that kind of like shape? I guess is it like a PlayStation? I don't know what.
No, it's
360.
it's
It's a
an
Xbox
actual
360?
Xbox
Oh, okay.
360 controller. Yeah, it's just an
Okay.
off-brand one. It's because I didn't feel like finding like an actual used one, so I just got on and got one off Amazon, and it cracked me up because the instructions for the controller when you start reading it, it says this is by Voie, I think is the company. This product is not like an actual Microsoft product, and it says like number 2. This is product is not as good as an original Xbox 360 controller, but it's better than the other ones on the market. I'm like,
Oh,
what kind
okay.
of advertising is this? Like, you're shitting on your own controller, saying it's not as good as the like an original 360, but then you're complimenting it at the same time, saying, but it's better than all the other off-brand controllers,
Right.
you know, that are out there.
It's like the Tommy Boy quote where he's like putting
Yeah.
a slap in the guarantee on the side of it.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
mean,
thing.
it is. I mean, it is. I couldn't. It's been forever since I've had an actual 360 controller, but like, I couldn't tell you that it. Other than instead of the Microsoft button, it's their logo. So like, it's just a silver button and it says Voie across it instead of like, you know, the little X or
the
whatever.
X.
So that's the only actual difference that I've seen in the controller. But have all the Game Boy games, regular Game Boy, Color Advance, Sega Genesis, Master System, 32X, regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and there's some Saturn and PS1 games on there. And there's like some other stuff. I think there's like Turbo Graphics and like some other stuff that I've just really never paid a whole lot of attention to. But yeah, I mean, there's 20 years of my life in a box that, you know, on an SD card that's, you know, this big. Like, it's just it's
crazy.
unreal that, you know, that all of that fits on a micro SD card. You know, that's just wild. So
I think I was at work and I had my phone charging, and like 45 minutes had passed, and I went to get it, and I saw Tyler and Brad 94 messages. I was like, what is going on? Then I had to read and get caught up. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
Is that whenever I was asking him about it, or was that when I broke it?
No, that's when you were asking him, like, before you bought everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I'm like, you know, I was just telling him, I'm like, you tell me what to buy, I'll buy it. Like, you know, I was like, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Like, I'm sure I could figure it out. You know, I don't want to learn through trial and error. Like, you know, if there's a YouTube video that can take me step by step, doing exactly what I need to do from start to finish, absolutely, you know. But, you know, I can, you know, do a lot of complicated things, but, you know, give me a bunch of parts and $110.
It's not bad for every game ever, essentially.
Yep.
That's nice.
Shout out to you, Brad.
Yep. So, yep. It's been used, and it will continue to be. And it was funny though, sitting there and playing Pokemon for original Game Boy, and you know, my kids walking out and be like, "Why is it like green?" or, you know, whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's what a Game Boy looked like. I'm like, I don't know what color you call that. And I was like, yellow, green, brown. I was just like, this is, you know, the absence of color. Oh, that's what this is. So, all right, what is your favorite toy from your childhood? And I put this on here because Jake brought up, you know, his toys, you know, that he was trying to sell the last time. The Toy Federation person, I don't understand. I have no intention of buying any toy that I've seen on this YouTube channel, but I'm in a chokehold. Like, I started on there and went to the very beginning, which was about 1.5 years ago, and I'm watched through almost all of the videos that he's posted, and I think I'm up to about 6 months ago or something. Is like, I'm almost current to what's going on, but they're all like, I don't know, sub 20 minutes, I would think. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going through and just watching all of them, you know, and like, they're like showing, you know, it's like Pawn Stars for toys basically, and you know, he's showing all these Transformers and, you know, like all these just toys, play sets, action figures, stuff that I'm never gonna buy, like just have no intention, but like I can't stop watching it. And so that's what inspired it. Your childhood toys, which ones do you wish you still had? Or which ones were your favorite, either way?
Mine were for sure my wrestling figures. I think every single bone crunching action figure, I think is what they were called back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
We had a tote just full of them. So I'm choosing my WWE figures because that's all I really played with. I didn't have Spider-Man. We did have some Batman stuff, but I was just strictly a wrestling kid. Stone Cold Steve Austin, baby. I love you.
I had G.I. Joes and
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joes, Street Sharks.
I know you had your crash test dummies or
crash
whatever.
test dummies. And
I do have a Street Shark down there.
I guess I got him. Well, I mean, I wasn't alive, so I mean, I guess it had to have been like secondhand later. Was a bunch of like He-Man stuff from yard sales, like back, when it was of no importance, to anybody, and you may get the parts that come with it, or my grandma comes in with a Kroger bag, full of stuff, or I paid $1.75 for 14 action figures, and blah blah blah, and like that same one, like I mean, obviously I don't remember a lot of them, but like I just look and they'll people will bring in different ones, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, I'll give you X amount of dollars, and I mean it may be $800-900 for some of these things, and I'm like, what if I had that? Like what if I had that for $1? 30 years ago or 25 years ago, and
You'd be road tripping to that store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So completely off. We'll finish the topic in a second, but completely before I forget, if you were a parent back, let's just say we had our kids in the beginning of the 90s, do you think that you would have had enough foresight or want or need, having the personality that you have, to say like, maybe I should keep this because it will be worth money later on? Or do you think that the only reason that people think that now is because of what they've seen happen?
I think that's it right there.
Yeah. I mean, like,
my mom had the foresight, and that's why we have.
But did she keep it because she thought this may be worth money later on, or did she keep it because she thought, hey, maybe, because like, hey, my kids grew up this, maybe they'll want it when they get older? Because like my mom did keep some stuff, from whenever I was a kid, but like it wasn't stuff that was worth any money, that would be like, like she had like a shoebox full of Pogs, and I'm just like, I don't want those, like, or it'd be like,
worth money now,
like books, or like just different stuff that like, like I had like a wooden little train set that like was the train pieces were like carved letters of my name, so it would be like TY, like it, that was like, well, you had this when you were 3. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, what am I gonna do with it now? So I don't think anybody had that in mind, saying like this is going to be worth money later on. But like, I feel like we're at a point now where there's no point in keeping things because it's either mass produced or it's just not worth, anything later on down the road. Like, I mean, even like those like hot, like just impossible to find toys like that come around, for Christmas or whatever, remember like those fingerling things that were like impossible to find 2 years ago? Like, I'm sure that shit's at Five Below now. Yeah, like I'm
they're
sure
all over Five Below.
Yeah, I'm sure they're at Five Below. But like back then, like it was like it might be $80, for you to get one
$15 toy.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't feel like they make anything anymore. God, I sound so old being like, they don't make them like they used to, but it's just, they don't. Like, I just don't feel like anything is going to be worth money. And I'm not saying that you should only like collect things because they're worth money, but like, I don't feel like you know, anything that is currently out for children in, I don't feel like when my kids are 30, you know, 40 years old, that if I handed them anything from their childhood, they'd be like, "Oh, I remember this. This is great." You know, like, I'd be like, "Why are you giving me this? Like, I don't want this." You know, it's just that nobody cares. So, but
We have my son has those Lego architectures, big giant sets. Mom buys them for him and everything, and I keep the box in the instruction booklet and put the spare Lego pieces inside of a Ziploc bag because those things resell like crazy.
I feel like certain things like that. Like, I mean, like Lego, that's just a brand. I mean, that's never going to die. You know, I mean, like those are going to be around forever. But like, I guess, I mean, Legos is a toy, but I mean, like, I just don't feel like there's any action figure that came out in the past 15 years that in 20 years you're going to be like, hey, you got that one in a box still? That's worth about, you know, $300-400. Like, you know, I don't.
It has to be numbered, probably.
It's got to be numbered, or it's got to be signed, or it's got to be, you know, it's got to be something that got recalled, or, you know, like that's all that, you know, it's not, you know, it's just like Funko. Like, I mean, now whether or not it's true or not, there's rumors that they buried like $30 million worth of Funko that didn't sell in a landfill. You know, whether or not that's actually true or not, I don't really know. But Funkos were popular and something that people wanted until they became mass produced.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can walk into a Walgreens and see beat up Funkos stuffed behind the 12-pack of Coke. You know, like, it's just they're everywhere, and they're not. I'm not saying everything should be so hard that people can't get it, but, you know, if you make 50,000 of something, it's gonna lose its value, especially when 10,000 of them don't sell and they just get shoved in a back room somewhere. So, but back to the original topic? What is your else? Well, I guess you said your wrestling figures. So, Jake, what is your
We have to go with
most
Legos.
beloved toy?
Legos. It was probably just I mean, it's something I could still play with today. I mean, I don't really have the time to, but, you know, if Jackson wants to play with Legos, I'll play with Legos and we'll build stuff. We go to Madhouse and Bricks and buy the bag full of stuff that you could build things. It's a lot of fun. Something I could pass down to him. And that's what I remember playing with most. I mean, just building, you know, whatever I wanted to build, I could do that. And I would get a new Lego toy, like a new box set, like every weekend. I'd go to my grandparents' house and I'd wake up the next morning. We'd go to Walmart or Toys R Us in Clarksville. I'd get a new Lego, build it up, play with it until the next weekend.
Yeah, I got, not that I'm not into Legos, but like, Legos are weird for me. Like, it's fun to build it, and then when you're done, it's like, well, I'm not going to take it apart and do it again. You know,
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's just like, all right, well, it's done. Like, you know, and like, as an adult, there are, like, you know, certain ones where, like, if you build them, they're like display pieces. But, you know, and I guess a lot of the Lego sets are, you know, like, aimed more at displaying them when you're done rather than building them and then when you're then and yeah, like building them and playing with them. I feel like it's now it's like art, where it's like you build them and you display them versus, you know, build them and then play with them. You know, like, I can't tell you the last time I saw a Lego commercial where they're showing a Lego set and they're showing a kid playing with it. You know, like they show it and it's sitting on a shelf. You know, like that's how they market it now,
and it's marked up a lot.
Oh yeah, it's outrageous. That's like one thing that, like, it would be hard to justify that hobby, in my opinion. Like, you know, going to a store and like there's some super cool ones, don't get me wrong, but like going to the store and like spending a video game console on something that I have to build, like,
you won't do it again.
That's a hard ask. And then saying, like, do it multiple times, like, you know, like, that's, you know, like, $100 is, you know, like, if you want to spend that on a Lego set, cool, you know. But like some of those Lego sets that are $200 and $300, like, I just I can't, like, I can't. I'd be the biggest Lego fan in the world, but
they have a new one out.
I'm gonna find a new hobby.
It's the Mona Lisa painting. It's like $90.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah, it's neat. I mean, I have the Starry Night. I showed you all the pictures of it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun build. It took forever. My fingers hurt.
You got the Millennium Falcon?
No, I'm too poor for that.
It's like $800.
Yeah, there's no.
It's outrageous.
I'll watch other people. Like I'll just watch somebody.
Yeah, it's just so wild that something can cost that amount of money. So, all right. So we got something different that we talked about doing before, but never got around to. So we're gonna do video game trivia, and we're gonna see which one of you all get the most right. So the first one is, what year was the PlayStation 1 released?
95.
96.
Yeah, well, I would say we'll do it. We'll do it this way the next time. The next time we need to get y'all little whiteboards, and
I'm showing my hand, so I'm not using my phone.
95 is the correct answer. So, how many Pokemon does the first generation feature?
Do what?
So, how many Pokemon are in the original first generation?
I mean, I guess
150.
I was gonna say 150 or 151.
You got to make an answer. Is it 150 or 151?
151.
Yep, that is the correct answer, Jake. Jake is correct. So,
Or 101.
Let's see. What is the best-selling video game of all time?
Oh, fuck. Is it still Tetris? I'm saying Tetris.
I was gonna say probably Tetris or Mario, but probably Tetris.
Nope. There's Minecraft.
Oh, dude, I should have known better on that one.
Yep.
They should.
What product did Nintendo make before video games? Do. Come on.
Toys.
Yeah.
Socks.
It's playing cards.
God, we're
I
terrible.
have no idea.
That was it. That was
Terrible nerd.
What is the name of the first video game to be played in space?
Space Invaders. Galaga.
No, I knew you were going to say that, but it's not that. You already said it earlier. You just don't
Tetris.
put two and two together. Yeah, Tetris. So, all right, here's an easy one. Who is Sega's mascot?
Sonic.
Yep. What's the best-selling video game console of all time?
Oh,
The Wii.
Mm-mm.
I'm going 360. No, PS2. PS2.
Yeah, PlayStation 2. What is Crash Bandicoot's younger sister called?
He has a sister.
Yep.
Accident. I don't know.
I'll go to Rodrigo. I have no idea.
Coco Bandicoot. All right. Here's a couple more. What's the name of Link's horse in the Legend of Zelda series?
Goru.
Horsey.
You don't know the horse's name?
Man, I'm a terrible nerd today.
Oh my god! It's
Goldar.
Epona.
A pony?
Epona.
Sounds
There's
like
there's literally a song that's called Epona Song in Ocarina of Time. So you can call your horse. That's what it's called.
my god.
All right. What year did the first Mortal Kombat release?
94.
No, I'm gonna say 1986 or 7.
92.
92.
Price is Right rules on one.
Hey, all right. Here's one for Travis. What is the Throat Goat's main ability? He copies other people. Let's see. All right, last one. Oh shit, my phone I don't know what the hell just happened. Where'd it go? I just found the one that's going to be the last one. I can't fucking find it anymore. Oh, what was the last ever game to be released on the Nintendo Wii?
We did this
There's
before.
thousands of
Just Dance,
them.
Just Dance 2019.
20,
I say we brought this up before.
2020.
2020.
You asked me something that was one of the questions. I don't remember what it was. It was like some trivia, something or other that you asked me, and I managed to get that right. I don't remember what we did though. All right. Yeah, I just found a bunch of random questions on the internet. It was, there was no rhyme or reason for any of them. It really wasn't planned. So, all right. Well, we made it through spooky season, and we did all the movies. As we're recording this one, the last episode is live, and we're trying to not do things differently, but I guess kind of condense things down a little bit to under an hour for most of the podcast that we do. Some of them might run a little bit over, especially if we have another person, but under an hour seems to be what people are most interested in. I went back and looked at all of them, and the ones that were shorter had the most views by a decent amount. So they're gonna be a little bit shorter than they were before. I don't know. We might change some other things along the way, but for now, that's all that there is. Yeah. So y'all got anything?
My phone
Anything
is absolutely
else?
blowing up.
Anything else to add from what?
Work. Everybody play Retro Realms. It's $25 for each or $50 for both. Great game. Won't be disappointed.
Yeah. So we're gonna try. I got to get on a schedule with doing this, with doing all the podcast stuff. I'm gonna start doing like little, not like clips. I mean, I guess clips of the episode, and we might start trying to do stuff on TikTok and Instagram and all that. And we've been talking about playing a game together since we started, and that still has yet to happen.
Sounds like we're gonna bro force
months later. So bro force will be the first thing that happens. And if it's anything like what happened on Red Dead, there's going to be mini clips to put together and make it into a video. So links for Instagram and our Facebook page and everything will be in the description below. And if you all have any ideas, criticism, topics that you want to be discussed, you can let us know on there. And until next time, goodbye.
Bye.